In this tutorial, we'll dive into the extraction spec in Needletail, a powerful tool that defines how metadata is interpreted for each data entity. Every source in Needletail can contain one or more entities. Each entity has an associated extraction spec, which provides key metadata details. This includes information such as column names, data types, primary keys, and more. By default, this metadata is automatically inferred by Needletail. However, it can also be manually edited if needed. Metadata extracted from structured sources, like relational databases, is usually very accurate, because these systems follow strict formats for storing metadata. On the other hand, metadata inferred from unstructured sources, like CSV or JSON files, may occasionally contain errors. That's where the extraction spec becomes especially helpful. It lets you review, modify, and correct that metadata. Let's look at how to access and use the extraction spec. Start by selecting any source. Then, click the three-dot menu and choose Extraction Spec. Here, you'll see the metadata Needletail inferred for each entity. Use the drop-down menu on the left to choose a specific entity. For this example, we'll look at the Employee ID entity. You can modify metadata here and even mark certain columns as required or assign a primary key. The extraction spec also supports primary key deduplication. For example, if your dataset contains multiple employee ID records, you can remove duplicates by keeping only the latest entry. Just set the deduplication condition to max on the higher date column. You can also configure data partitioning. For example, assigning a partition level of 1 to state and 2 to city will enable faster reads for specific city-state combinations. Now, let's explore the pattern feature. Sometimes a field like birthdate might be inferred as a string. To convert it into a date type, use the pattern section to define the appropriate date format. Clicking the edit icon will open all the options for that column. Here you will find the validation feature. This allows you to add rules, for example, making sure a hiring date falls within a certain range. And if there's a column you don't want included in your output, just click the trash icon to exclude it from the sync. Now, let's talk about the conditional selection option. This section lets you filter the data being written to the sync. You can use query mode to write SQL-style filters, filter mode to apply conditional logic to specific fields, or URL context, which is helpful when working with REST APIs. Finally, let's briefly touch on custom extraction specs. These can be built by editing the field specification file. To find this file, select Browse on the top right of the project screen. Navigate to Custom, then FS. Select the appropriate source, and then open the field specification file. This stores all the configurations in a JSON structure. To import a new custom spec, click the import icon, then enter the file path to your saved specification. Let's look at a more advanced use case. In this example pipeline, the source files contain a continuous stream of characters. Each section of characters represents a different data point. For instance, the first 5 characters might represent the account ID, the next 10 might be the first name, and so on. To ingest this kind of structured stream, you'll need a custom extraction spec. Navigate to the location of the project's field specification files, and you'll see the custom code used to parse and map the character stream into columns, with their data types, validation rules, and other metadata. And that covers all the key features of the extraction spec in Needletail. Thank you for watching. For more detailed documentation, visit the Needletail help page. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team by email or phone.